and welcome to Millennium Sports World. Today we will present local and international sports stories including tennis, boxing, golf, hockey, baseball, basketball, soccer and some more sports news. So let's find out what's waiting in today's sports world. At first, let's go for some tennis stories. World number 1 Iga Swiatek defeated Australian Open champion Aryna Sabalenka in straight sets to win her second consecutive Stuttgart title on Sunday. Swiatek eased past her second-ranked Belarusian opponent 6-3, 6-4 on the clay to give her a great boost ahead of her French Open title defense in May. The US Open champion broke serve late in the first set and in the opening game of the second to clinch an impressive victory in what was a rematch of last year's final. The 21-year-old Pole is the first player to win back-to-back Stuttgart titles since Angelique Kerber in 2015 and 2016. It was the first time a world number 1 had faced the world number 2 on clay since the 2013 French Open final, when Serena Williams triumphed over Maria Sharapova. In control and looking as dominant as ever, Carlos Alcaraz nodded his head from side to side to the tune of the music being played on the Rafa Nadal center court. The 19-year-old Spaniard couldn't be more relaxed while sitting on the bench during a late changeover, watching the home crowd dance and enjoying the moment. Alcaraz got up and continued to impress on the court, and it wasn't long before he was lifting yet another trophy. Alcaraz became the first player since Rafael Nadal to repeat as Barcelona Open champion with a comfortable 6-3, 6-4 win over Stefanos Tsitsipas on Sunday, securing his third title of the year and ninth of his impressive young career. Me and my team were talking before the match about staying relaxed, Alcaraz said. To want to play the tough moments, staying relaxed is the most important part for me. To forget the mistakes, everything, and by myself on court. Not to think about all the people watching, but just me, the court, the racket, and the final. It was the fifth consecutive straight set win for the second-ranked Alcaraz at his home tournament this year. He is now 10-1 in Barcelona and has won his last 14 tour matches on Spanish soil. World number 1 Novak Djokovic pulled out of the Madrid Masters on Saturday, joining Rafael Nadal in missing the tournament with the French Open just 5 weeks away. Both men are vying for a record-extending 23rd Grand Slam title at Roland Garros, with the tournament beginning on May 28. Djokovic, a two-time French Open winner, has been struggling with an elbow problem, while Nadal, champion in Paris on 14 occasions, has been sidelined with a hip injury since January. Novak Djokovic is unable to compete at the Madrid Open. The organizers wrote on Instagram ahead of the tournament, which starts April 26. Australian Open champion Djokovic suffered a straight sets defeat by Serbian compatriot Dusan Lajovic in the quarterfinals at Banja Luka in Bosnia-Herzegovina on Friday. He was beaten by underdog Lorenzo Musetti at the Monte Carlo Masters earlier in April and said ahead of the Bosnian event that his elbow was not in an ideal condition. Djokovic missed tournaments earlier this year at Indian Wells and Miami over his refusal to get a COVID-19 vaccination. Now, latest basketball story. LeBron James and the Lakers came out in front of this franchise's first sellout playoff crowd in a decade and immediately produced one of the greatest first quarters in team history. Los Angeles leaped to a 35-9 lead amidst one raucous ovation after another from fans eager for a return to the Lakers' tradition of playoff success. After all those first quarter fireworks, not even Jay Morant could carry the Memphis Grizzlies all the way back to prevent the Lakers from seizing Game 3. Anthony Davis had 31 points and 17 rebounds. James finished with 25 points after Dillon Brooks was ejected for striking him in the groin. And Los Angeles survived Morant's 24-point fourth quarter to beat the Grizzlies 111-101 Saturday night for a 2-1 lead in their first-round playoff series. Rui Hachimura scored 16 points in another strong effort off the bench for the 7-seeded Lakers, who came out impressively in this long-awaited return to a true playoff atmosphere for a franchise with 17 titles. Los Angeles tied an NBA record by taking a 26-point lead into the second quarter, and Memphis couldn't get closer than 13 points until the final 2 minutes. Now it's time for some baseball stories. Astros starter Framber Valdez marvels at how talented Yordan Alvarez is. He watched for the second consecutive night as Alvarez delivered a big blow against the Atlanta Braves. Obviously, he is having an excellent season, Valdez said through a translator. He is a great hitter, a power hitter, contact hitter. He is a guy that saves us a ton and contributes to the team a ton, and we know what he can do. Alvarez and Kyle Tucker each hit a 2-run homer in the 6th inning of Kyle Wright, and Houston beat Atlanta 6-3 for its third straight victory on Saturday night. Alvarez's 6th long ball of the season came one night after he hit a go-ahead 2-run shot in the 9th inning for the decisive runs in a 6-4 win. Alvarez, who finished third in the AL MVP voting last year for the World Series champion Astros, connected against Wright on a 414-foot homer that sailed into the Chop House restaurant in right field to make it 2-1. After Braves rookie shortstop Vaughn Grissom committed his second error of the game, Tucker went deep to center, his ball going 410 feet for a 4-1 lead. It was his 5th homer. Randy Arozarena homered in the first inning as Tampa Bay set a major league record by going deep in each of its first 21 games. Then hit a 10th inning single for his 4th RBI that gave the Rays a 4-3 win over the Chicago White Sox on Saturday. Tampa Bay is 18-3, the best start in the major league since the 2003 Yankees. The Rays are 12-0 at Tropicana Field, the best start at home since the 2019 Dodgers at 13-0. Arozarena hit a 2-run homer in first off, Dillon says, and the Rays surpassed the previous mark of homers in the first 20 games by Seattle in 2019, with the score 3-3 in the 10th. Arozarena singled off Jimmy Lambert for his team-high 22nd RBI. Garrett Clevinger worked a perfect 10th. Now latest boxing story. Gervonta Davis' left uppercut to Ryan Garcia didn't seem to do much damage initially. Garcia remained on his feet before backing up a few steps. Then he went to his right knee, and suddenly a highly anticipated boxing match was over. The lightweight bout ending at 1 minute 44 seconds of the 7th round Saturday night. I didn't think that body shot would end it, but I saw his facial expression and that's what made me take it to him, Davis said. It was a good shot, for sure. I thought he was going to get up, but I like to play mind games. So when he was looking at me, I was looking at him, trying to tell him, get up. He just shook his head, no. Davis improved to 29-0 with all but 2 of his victories by knockout. It was the first defeat for Garcia, who won 19 of his first 23 fights by KO. Davis also sent Garcia to the mat with a roundhouse left in the second round and spent most of the rest of the fight working the body. The strategy worked for Davis, a 28-year-old from Baltimore who put himself in position to succeed Canelo Alvarez as the face of the sport. This fight between lightweight challengers had the feel of a big-time event attracting celebrities such as Julius Erving, Damian Lillard, and Mark Wahlberg, as well as former champs Mike Tyson, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Manny Pacquiao. A sold-out crowd of 20,842 showed up, with Davis owning roughly a 60-40 split of the support. Now it's time for the latest golf story. Australian Lucas Herbert outlasted Aaron Cockerill to win the Hunter Championship on the second extra hole Sunday for his third World Tour title. The pair finished the final round tied on 15 under 265 after Herbert just missed a birdie putt from 20 feet on the 18th for a 67. Cockerill had a chance to take advantage but saw his second shot on the last find a bunker and was lucky to save his par and force the playoff after a closing round 68. After both players made par at the first extra hole, Herbert did well to recover from a wayward tee shot on the second extra to secure his first win since the Dubai duty-free Irish Open title in 2021. I have come here so many times and loved it so to get back here and win. It means a lot, said Herbert. It was kind of solid. I didn't think I did anything special. I just hit solid shots where I needed to. Didn't think I hit too many bad shots. Made some putts where I needed to. Scotland's Callum Hill took sole third place with a 14 under 266 despite shooting a tidy 5 under 65 in the final round. Now it's time for latest soccer stories. Bayern Munich fullback Alphonso Davies has been ruled out of the club's upcoming games with a hamstring injury. The German side announced on Sunday. Davies suffered the injury in Saturday's 3-1 loss to Mainz. The Canada defender fell to the turf after just 9 minutes against Mainz, holding the back of his left hamstring, and was substituted. Bayern released a statement saying Davies will be out of action for the upcoming games. The 22-year-old has played 38 times for Bayern this season in all competitions. Davies also played each of Canada's 3 matches at last year's World Cup, scoring their first ever goal at the tournament. Bayern slipped 1 point behind Borussia Dortmund at the top of the Bundesliga on Saturday, with 5 matches remaining. Barcelona ended Atletico Madrid's unbeaten run and its own slump with a hard-fought 1-0 win in the Spanish league on Sunday, moving closer to its first league title in 4 years. The victory halted a 6-game winning streak and 13-game unbeaten run for Atletico, which lost ground to Real Madrid in the fight for second place. Barcelona, meanwhile, restored a comfortable 11-point lead over Madrid with 8 rounds remaining. Madrid focused on the Champions League and the Copa del Rey final beat Celta Vigo 2-0 at home on Saturday. Ferran Torres scored a 44th-minute winner at Camp Nou with a well-placed low shot from just inside the area, giving Barcelona its first victory after a 3-match winless run that had prompted fears of a meltdown entering the final stretch. Barcelona hadn't scored in 3 straight games after being humiliated at home by Madrid 4-0 in the Copa del Rey semi-finals and held to scoreless draws against modest league opponents in Girona and Getafe. It was the 23rd clean sheet in the league this season for Barcelona, which last owned the league title in 2019. Third place Atletico trails Madrid by 5 points. It was the 3rd straight win by Barcelona over Atletico, whose last win against the Catalan club was in 2021. It was at home to Barcelona in their first league game this season. Romelu Lukaku shot Inter Milan to a 3-0 win over struggling Empoli on Sunday with his first Serie A goals from open play since the opening day of what has been a difficult return season in Italy. Belgium striker Lukaku netted 2 fine low finishes in the second half at the Stadio Castellani to help Inter to their first win in Italy's top flight since early March and moved them above AC Milan into fifth, 2 points from the last Champions League place currently held by Roma. He struck his first from the edge of the area 2 minutes after the break following a quick exchange of passes with Marcelo Brozovic and doubled Inter's lead in the 76th minute by bursting past Erdogan Ismaili and rifling home an angled drive. The 29-year-old, who also laid on Lautaro Martinez's late goal, took his league tally since returning to Inter on loan from Chelsea to just 5 with Sunday's brace. Lukaku has struggled with injuries for large chunks of the campaign, which started back in mid-August with a goal less than 2 minutes into Inter's opening fixture at Lecce. This season has been a very complicated one, Lukaku told Sky Sport. We are doing good work with the trainers. It's the first time that I have had such a serious injury, but now I feel more confident with those type of movements. Inter beat Empoli with a changed lineup from the one which secured a Milan Derby Champions League semi-final on Wednesday. They are also in a battle with their local rivals for qualification to next year's edition of Europe's top club competition. Manchester United will face arch-rivals Manchester City in the FA Cup final after beating Brighton 7-6 on penalties in Sunday's semi-final. Erik ten Hag's side played out a hard-fought 0-0 draw with Brighton that went to extra time at Wembley. Solly March was the only Brighton player to miss in the shootout, with Victor Lindelof netting United's winner from the spot. It will be United's first FA Cup final appearance since losing to Chelsea in the 2018 showcase. Now some latest cricket stories. Legendary India batter Sachin Tendulkar's 50th birthday was celebrated 2 days early on Saturday during the Indian Premier League clash between Mumbai Indians and Punjab Kings at his home ground Wankhede Stadium. Tendulkar cut a cake near the Mumbai Indians dugout during the second strategic break in the first innings. Speaking with former India all-rounder and head coach Ravi Shastri, he said, "This has been the slowest but the most interesting and fulfilling 50 of his life. This has been the slowest 50 of my life but the most fulfilling one and interesting one. It's a package of highs and lows. I have thoroughly enjoyed scoring this 50. It has taught me a lot. Above all, it has given me the honor of representing India for 24 years, said Tendulkar. Interestingly, this year also marks 10 years since Tendulkar retired from international cricket at the Wankhede Stadium. As part of the arrangement for Tendulkar's birthday celebration, face masks were placed on every seat in the 30,000 capacity stadium. There was also a special Tendulkar installation in place outside the Garver Pavilion at the Wankhede. Faf du Plessis and Glenn Maxwell smashed another big partnership and Harshal Patel held his nerve as Royal Challengers Bangalore beat Rajasthan Royals in a big scoring IPL thriller on Sunday. Trent Bolt trapped Virat Kohli leg before first ball for his 100th wicket and the Kiwi quick had Bangalore reeling on 12 for 2 with the scalp of Shahbaz Ahmed inside an electric M. Chinnaswamy Stadium. But du Plessis, the top scorer of the current Indian Premier League edition, and Maxwell soon got Bangalore out of trouble and ended up hammering 127 runs off only 66 balls. Maxwell led the way with 77 of 44, while du Plessis hit 62 of 39 balls before being run out for 62. Maxwell's switch hit Ravichandran Ashwin straight to Jason Holder at backward point for 77. Now some other sports news. Top athletes from across the world lost their legacy blue ticks on social media service Twitter. The decision that had long been announced finally came into effect on 20 April. The blue check marks, which helped validate their identities and differentiate them from imposters on the microblogging site, have now been taken away. Elon Musk, who had bought the social media platform for $44 billion last year, has brought in multiple changes to the site since taking over. He had said the website was entering a new era and that the verification marks would be provided on a subscription basis. Tomorrow, 4 out of 20, we are removing legacy verified check marks, the official Twitter verified account had tweeted on Wednesday. As a result, multiple athletes, including cricketers, have lost their verification marks. Commenting about it, former England cricketer Kevin Pietersen said, "Who cares if you have a blue tick or not? How does it positively or negatively affect your day? It really shouldn't." Indian Premier League franchise Lucknow Super Giants, who had made the final last year, posted a meme of Bollywood actor Manoj Bajpayee, the caption, "Where is the blue tick?" Quite a few athletes have lost their verification marks overnight. Footballers Cristiano Ronaldo, Neymar, Kaká, Andres Iniesta, Ronaldinho, Gerard Piqué, Wayne Rooney, Kylian Mbappe. NBA stars Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, tennis players Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, and golfer Tiger Woods. Kelvin Kiptum collapsed to the ground after winning the London Marathon on Sunday and recording the second fastest time in history over the distance. The 23-year-old Kenyan runner set the course record with a time of 2 hours, 1 minute, 25 seconds and just missed out on Eliud Kipchoge's world record by 16 seconds. "I'm so happy with the result," said Kiptum. "I don't know what to say right now. I'm just grateful. The course felt good. There was a bit of rain around halfway, but it was okay. I enjoy doing the marathons. It is good preparation for me. I loved it. I'm very happy." In the women's race, Sifan Hassan completed a stunning comeback to win on her marathon debut after appearing to be injured partway through in what was long-distance great Mo Farah's final marathon. Defending champion Amos Kipruto and world champion Tamira Tola were also among the elite men's field that Kiptum left behind. Farah, who is 40 years old, finished ninth with a time of 2 hours, 10 minutes and 28 seconds. Hassan won the women's elite race in dramatic fashion in what was billed as possibly the strongest field ever. The Ethiopian-born Dutch athlete triumphed despite falling off the pace and clutching her hip around the 15-mile mark. The 30-year-old 5,000 and 10,000 meter Olympic champion then reeled in the leaders with 3 miles to go. A German publisher has fired one of its magazine's editors and apologized to the family of Michael Schumacher for publishing a fake interview with the Formula One great that was generated by artificial intelligence. This tasteless and misleading article should never have appeared. It does not in any way correspond to the standards of journalism that we and our readers expect from a publisher like Funky. Funky Magazine's managing director Bianca Pullman said on Saturday. Pullman said Funky was firing the chief editor of Die Actual magazine, where the so-called interview appeared, and the group apologized to Schumacher's family. The magazine printed a photo of the 54-year-old Schumacher on its front page last weekend, along with the words, "Michael Schumacher, the first interview." The magazine also wrote it sounds deceptively real, with the supposed quotes attributed to Schumacher generated by AI. Die Actual is one of many tabloid celebrity magazines in Germany. It was while skiing in the French Alps at Maribel that Schumacher fell in December 2013 and suffered a near-fatal brain injury. His head hit a rock which split open his helmet. Doctors removed blood clots, but others were left untouched because they were too deeply embedded in his brain. Since being transferred from hospital in September 2014, the 7-time F1 champion continues to be cared for privately at a family home in Switzerland. That's all in today's sports world. Keep watching Millennium Sports World for latest sport updates. Millennium TV USA and Millennium News 24 network is transmitted and available to be watched free for all at TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BT Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all types of informative and entertainment program. Thank you.